Okay, where were we? Oh right, I'm going back to get my camera. I do that a lot. Welcome back for part 2 of my 2025 trip to Death Valley National Park. Overnight winds were in excess of 40 miles an hour. It shook the van and everything around us all night. With little sleep, we decided to skip sunrise. We hung out at camp all day and eventually drove over to Rhyolite Ghost Town on our way to Beatty. It was pretty windy there too, but the golden light was fun to work with amidst the ruins of old cars and buildings. We ended the day in Beatty for a football game. It was moving day. We had a plan. We thought we knew where we were going to be heading next. But a closed gas station and a fuel gauge showing a little low meant that we needed to find gas. It also meant that our plans needed to change. After quite a long drive, we set course for Eureka Dunes a couple of days earlier than we had originally planned. It is a long drive, but the diversity and ever-changing scenery you see from the driver's seat of the van along the way makes you forget how long you've been driving. Around each corner there is something new and unique. Death Valley is always changing. A drive through Death Valley feels more like traveling from one planet to another. It simply is amazing. We ended up taking the long cut, but it turned out to be a lot of fun in the Raptor, not so much in the van. The slow pace of the van meant we would not get to camp until after dark. But that was okay. We were having too much fun switching back and forth who was driving the Raptor and who was driving the van. And when we eventually got to camp, it meant we got to have our first campfire of the trip. The next morning, we hiked out into the dunes for sunrise. Along the hike, I made a few images, but I was determined to find one composition and just sit on it. Watching the light work its way down the slopes of the dunes brings a sense of peace that I can't explain or put into words. I was pretty proud of myself for this newfound patience. On the hike back to camp, we found a dark-eyed junco hanging out in a tree. And then, out of nowhere, an F-35 fighter jet ripped across the valley floor right over our heads. And that went on all day. F-16s, F-18s, and F-35s. We spent the entire day shooting fighter jets flying low-level through Eureka Dunes. We ended the day with a quick sunset hike out into the dunes, again setting up on one composition. The next morning kind of felt the same. We hiked out into the dunes in the pre-dawn light, but just a little further this time, beyond where we had gone before. I once again set up on one composition. We shot jets again all day and then decided to skip the sunset hike. It was our last night on the trip and we had the campground all to ourselves. So we decided to put on some music, cook some good food, and just enjoy the evening. It is a mix of emotions knowing the trip is coming to an end. I know that my time out in nature with my friend is coming to an end. Our time spent together is never long enough.
Washboard. It's insane.
The next morning, we left the same way we came in. It was just too much fun, so we had to do it again. The landscape we get to drive through often leaves you speechless. We didn't see another vehicle or person the whole time. We parted ways in Big Pine, and I hate goodbyes. But I knew I had a 5-hour drive ahead of me and would be doing it solo. I did have to stop for sunset though. How could I pass up the best color of the entire trip? The next 4 hours were done alone in the dark. I sometimes think I could do this trip like this on my own. And I'm sure I could, but why would I? It just wouldn't be the same without TJ on these adventures. The time spent with him and the fun we have will be core memories that will be with me for a lifetime. As my memory fades and my body gets too old to enjoy adventures like this, the pictures and videos will be a physical reminder and take me back. They don't have to be my legacy. I realize that these things will serve simply as reminders for me and remind me of the adventures of a lifetime. As always, thanks for watching. Until next time, may the good light find you.